You can't imagine what enormous pleasure it gives me to welcome you back to the Royal Opera House tonight.
This famous stage comes back to life for the first time since lockdown in a celebration of opera, song and dance. Good evening and welcome. Now, you can't be with us here at the Royal Opera House, but we thankfully can bring the Royal Opera House to you in your homes. We have a host of stellar artists performing alongside a world premiere of a ballet performance by the stars Francesca Hayward and Cesar Corrales. Now, it feels quite emotional to be bringing this stage to life tonight, and I do feel very special to be hosting alongside you, Tony.
Thank you, Anita, and good evening. Whoever you are and wherever you are in the world, good evening, and thank you for joining us. My collaborators and I have put together a program, a musical journey from Benjamin Britten to Georges Bizet, from song to opera, with detours featuring the music of George Butterworth, Richard Strauss, Marc-Anthony Turnage, Gerald Finley, and George Frideric Handel. And what collaborators I have! Soprano Louise Alder, tenor Toby Spence, bass baritone Gerald Finley. We are here together, humbly doing our best to reanimate the spirit of this gorgeous house and to remember those we have lost in the last months. We start with Benjamin Britten, On This Island, a group of 5 contrasting songs with texts by W.H. Auden. We start with a fanfare. We wend our way through the musical thickets, a seascape, a soulful nocturne, and a cheeky finale. Please welcome Louise Alder.
The unloved have had weeping and striking. Secretive children the leaves are falling fast. Nurse's flowers will not last. Nurses to the graves are gone, and the prams go rolling on. Whispering neighbours left and right, pluckers from the real delight, and the active hands must freeze, lonely on their separate knees. Dead in hundreds at the back, follow wooden in a track, arms raised stiffly to reprove in false attitudes of love. Starving through the labour's wood, trolls run scolding for their food, and the nightingale is dumb, and the angel will come. Called impossible ahead, lifts the mountains lovely head, whose white waterfall could bless travellers in their last distress. Look, stranger, at this island now, the lamp light for your delight discover. Stand stable here and silent be, that through the channels of the air may wander like a river the swaying sound of the sea. Here at the small field's ending pause, where the charcoal falls to the floor, and its toilet is upon the pluck and the knock of the tide, and the shingle scrambles up to the soaking surf, and the girl lodges a moment on its cheery side. Far off like floating sails, the ships diverge on urgent voluntary errands, and the full view indeed may enter, and move in memory as now these clouds do, that pass the harbour mirror and all the summer through the water saunter, through the water saunter. Now through night's caressing grip, earth and all her oceans sleep. Capes of China slide away from her fingers into day, and the Americas in gloom, ghosts towards her shadow line. vagrants creep into crooked holes to sleep. Just and unjust, worst and best, change the places as they rest. Oh, could lovers lie in fields where disdainful beauty yields? While the splendid and the proud naked stand before the crowd, and the losing gamble gains, and the beggar entertains. May sleep's healing power extend through these hours to our friend. Unpursued by hostile force, traction, engine, bull, or horse, or revolting succubus, calmly till the morning breaks, let him as it is plenty, as it's admitted, the children happy and the car that goes so far, and the wife devoted to this as it is, to the work and the banks. Let his fading hair and his auteur give thanks, give thanks. All that was thought, as like is not, when nothing was enough but love and the rough future of an intransigent nature, and the betraying smile betraying, but a smile that is not. Forget, forget, forget. Let him not cease to praise, then his spacious days. Yes, and the success, let him bless, let him bless. Let him see in this the profits larger, and the sins venal lest he see as it is, the losses major. And final,
Thank you, Louise and Tony. That was simply stunning, wasn't it? And if you want to know more about Louise or any of the artists performing tonight, then go to the Royal Opera House website. Now, tonight is a celebration, but it also comes at a time of real existential threat to the performing arts. Now, the Royal Opera House, this magnificent place, is the second largest employer of artists in the country after the BBC, but it's currently losing 3 in every £5 of its income. And sadly, some theatre companies have already had to close their doors permanently. Now, what this crisis has shown us is just how important the arts are to our lives, how much fulfillment we get from them, but also just how important we are, the audiences, in order for them to survive. So please donate if you can. You can donate via the buttons on YouTube and Facebook, via text, the details are on the screen, or via the Royal Opera House website.
We'd be truly grateful for your support that will go to the Royal Opera House community, your community. We continue now with the 6 songs from A Shropshire Lad by George Butterworth. George Butterworth, killed at the Somme by a sniper in 1917, already an accomplished composer. He writes these songs to the poetry of A.E. Housman. They have a quality of longing for a simpler time. And the last 2 of the 6 poignantly express loss. Please welcome Toby Spence.
Trees, the cherry now is hung with bloom along the bough, and stands about the woodland wearing white for Eastertide. Now of my 80 years and 10, 20 will not come again, and take from 70 springs a score. It only leaves me 50 more. And since to look at things in bloom, 50 springs a little room about the woodlands I will go to see the cherry hung with snow. When I was 21, I heard a wise man say, give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free. But I was 21, no use to talk to me. When I was 21, I heard him say again, the heart out of the bosom was never given in vain. 'Tis paid with sighs aplenty and sold for endless rue. And I am 22, and oh, 'tis true, 'tis true. Eyes for fear, they made a feather fight I see, and there you see your face too clear, and love it and be lost like me. One the long night through must lie, spent in star-defeated sighs, but why should you as well as I perish? Gaze not in my eyes. A Grecian lad, as I hear tell, one who many loved in vain, looked into a garden well and never looked away again. There when the turf in springtime flowers, with townward eye and gazes sad, stands amid the glancing showers a jonquil, not a Grecian lad love me jolly, why should men make haste to die? Empty heads and tongues a-talking make the rough road easy walking, and the feather pate of holly bears the falling sky. Oh, 'tis jesting, dancing, drinking spins the heavy world around. If young hearts were not so clever, oh, they would be young forever. Think no more, 'tis only thinking lays lads underground. Think no more, let love be jolly, why should men make haste to die? Empty heads and tongues a-talking make the rough road easy walking, and the feather pate of folly bears the falling sky. The lads in their hundreds to Ludlow come in for the fair. There's men from the barn and the forge and the mill and the fold. The lads for the girls and the lads for the liquor are there, and there with the rest are the lads that will never be old. There's chaps from the town and the field and the till and the cart, and many to count the stalwart and many the brave, and many the handsome of face and the handsome of heart, and few that will carry their looks or their truth to the grave. I wish one could know them, I wish there were tokens to tell the fortunate fellows that now you can never discern, and them one could talk with them friendly and wish them farewell, and watch them depart on the way that they will not return. But now you may stare as you like, and there's nothing to scan, and brushing your elbow one guessed at and not to be told, they carry back bright to the coiner the mintage of man, the lads that will die in their glory and never be old. His mighty ploughing that I was used to drive, and hear the harness jingle when I was man alive. Aye, the horses trample, the harness jingles now, no change though you lie under the land you used to plough. Is football playing along the river shore, with lads to chase the leather? Now I stand up no more. Aye, the ball is flying, the lads play heart and soul, the goal stands up, the keeper stands up to keep the goal. Is my girl happy that I thought her to leave? And has she tired of weeping as she lies down at eve? Aye, she lies down lightly, she lies not down to weep. Your girl is well contented. Be still, my lad, and sleep. Is my friend hearty? Now I am thin and pine. And has he found to sleep in a better bed than mine? Yes, lad, I lie easy, I lie as lads would choose. I cheer a dead man's sweetheart. Never ask me whose.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Toby. What a treat. Now, I'm delighted to be joined by the Royal Ballet's resident choreographer, the brilliant Wayne McGregor. Welcome,
Hi,
Wayne.
Anita.
Good to see you. Now, you've had a busy few weeks, haven't you? Tell us about what you've created specially for tonight.
We have. Well, it's incredible to be back in this incredible theatre. We're super excited about that. I've made with Frankie Hayward and Cesar Corrales, this very beautiful, intimate duet to music by Richard Strauss. The song is called Morgan, and we've stripped back the stage. It's very raw, very personal and intimate.
And I've had a sneak peek of it. It's absolutely stunning. You were in for such a treat. Tell me, because obviously we're in this new world order, lockdown. Where did the idea come from? What were you thinking behind it? What was your thoughts?
Well, I think, dance is a high-touch industry, if you think about it. And, many of us have been deprived of this very personal connection with others. And so it just felt really pertinent that we take that moment to find something that is really physically intimate, so you're reminded of what the sense of weight is of another body. What does that feel like? And I guess that's drove this inspiration for this piece.
Wonderful. And how did you cope with the whole social distancing rules? How did you get the rehearsals done in the first place?
That was super interesting because, again, I'm not the sort of choreographer that stands back and stays away from bodies, but we had super strict protocols in the studio. But it's been amazing, the dancers have been in lockdown for so long. They've been dancing around in 2 meter squared bits of floor. To actually be in the studio, to be back in this theatre is really an amazing moment for us.
Yeah, and of course, Francesca and Cesar are a couple as well, which does help, right?
It does help, yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, you mentioned it before, but just tell us once again just how special it feels to be back in this theatre, to be able to be performing on this stage tonight.
Well, we love making theatre. We love this relationship that we have with audiences. Remember, the audiences, we have 34 million people watch live theatre every year. They come and they soak in the experience, and it's so personal and direct. And we want to get back to that place as soon as we possibly can. And
obviously the whole of the performing arts world has been really affected by what's happened, but specifically the world of dance. What are the challenges for you?
Well, I think the challenges are, to keep that instrument in totally amazing shape, you have to do the work. So the dancers all over the world are doing lots of classes on Zoom, but that's not the same as devouring space in a studio. But more than that, we're all in a very vulnerable state because many of the creative industries and the individuals that work in creative industries are working in freelance capacities. And they've been hit very, very hard. They have no government subvention. They have no other means of support. So we really do need kind of government investment at the moment to be able to get us through this period so we can get back to doing what we do really well.
Absolutely. Wayne, thank you so much. Well, it is time for us all to be able to watch Wayne's world premiere of Morgan, music by Strauss, performed by the wonderful Francesca Hayward and Cesar Corrales.
And tomorrow the sun will shine again, and on the path that I will follow, it shall again unite us, happy ones, upon this sun-breathing earth. And to the wide shore, with its blue waves, we will quietly and slowly descend. Speechless, we shall look into each other's eyes, and upon us will descend the muted silence of happiness.
Hut auf uns, singt des Glückes stummes Schweigen.
That performance was recorded earlier, and artists and crew took the knee afterwards in support of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Thank you, Francesca, Cesar, Wayne, Vasco, and Louise. Now, during this time of lockdown, I imagine that for a lot of you, your relationship with your pets has gone absolutely mega. Well, these next 3 songs, 4 songs actually, are for you. 3 songs by Mark Anthony Turnage, with texts respectively by Stevie Smith, Thomas Hardy, and Walt Whitman. The Singing Cat, Mourn, and Last Words, specially written for our next soloist, Gerald Finley.
It was a little captive cat upon a crowded train. His mistress takes him from his box to ease his fretful pain. She holds him tight upon her knee, the graceful animal, and all the people look at him. He is so beautiful, he is so beautiful. But oh, he pricks and oh, he prods, and turns upon her knee, and lifteth up his innocent voice in plaintive melody. He lifteth up his innocent voice, he lifteth up, he singeth, and to each human countenance a smile of grace he bringeth. He lifteth up his innocent paw, upon her breast he clingeth, and everybody cries, behold the cat that singeth, that singeth. He lifteth up his innocent voice, he lifteth up, he singeth, and everybody warms themselves in the love his beauty bringeth, in the love his beauty bringeth, in the love his beauty bringeth. Pet was never mourned as you, parent of the spotless hue, plumy tail and wistful gaze, while you humored our queer ways, or outshrilled your morning call. Up the stairs and through the hall, foot suspended in its fall, while expectant you would stand, not to meet the stroking hand, till your way you chose to wend yonder to your tragic end. Pet was never mourned as you, never another pet for me. Let your place all vacant be. Better blankness day by day than companion torn away. Better bid his memory fade, better blot each mark he made, selfishly escape distress by contrived forgetfulness, than preserve his prince to make every morn and eve an ache, every morn and eve an ache, every morn an ache. Pet was never mourned as you. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick, discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with a mania of owning things, the mania of owning things. I think I could turn and live with animals. Benjamin Britten was a craftsman of songwriting, and we are very grateful that he left a legacy of very many arranged folk songs and other types of songs. In fitting with this animal theme, he left us one very special one, The Crocodile. Now listen, you landsmen, unto me to tell you the truth I'm bound. What happened to me while going to sea and the wonders that I found. Shipwrecked I was once off Peru's and tossed upon the shore. 'Twas then I did resolve to roam the country to explore. Tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee, tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee. 'Twas far I had not scouted out, went close alongside the ocean. I saw something move which at first I thought was all the world in motion. But steering up close alongside I saw 'twas a crocodile, and from his nose to the tip of his tail he measured 500 miles. Tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee, tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee. 'Twas a crocodile, I plainly could see he was not of a common race, for I was obliged to climb a high tree before I could see his face. And when he lifted up his jaw, though perhaps you may think 'tis a lie, he reached above the clouds for miles 80, and almost touched the sky. Tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee, tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee. While up aloft the wind was high, it blew a gale from the south. I lost my hold and away did fly right into that crocodile's mouth. He quickly closed his jaws on me and thought he got a victim. But I ran down his throat, do you see? And that's the way I tricked him. Tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee, tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee. I travelled on for a month or two till I got into his maw, where I found of rum cakes not a few, and 1,000 fat bullocks in store. Of life I banished all my care, for of food I was not stinted, and in that crocodile I lived 10 years, and very well contented. Tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee, tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee. This crocodile being very old, one day, alas, he died. He was 10 long years a-getting cold. He was so long and wide. His skin was 8 miles thick, I'm sure, or very near about. For I was full 10 years or more a-cutting my way out. Tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee, tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee. And now at last I'm got on earth, I found no more to roam. On a ship that passed I got a berth, and now I'm safe at home. And if my story you should doubt, should you ever travel the Nile, it's 10 to 1 you'll find the shell of the wonderful crocodile. Tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee, tamarit-falali-bolum-tit, tamarit-falali-dee.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Tony. I was smiling from beginning to end. You heard The Crocodile there, arranged by Benjamin Britten, and before that, Mark Anthony Turnage's 3 songs. And Mark joins me now. Welcome to the stage. Doesn't it feel great to be on this stage and bringing it to life? Yep. I must say happy birthday for earlier in the week, Mark.
Thank you.
60th in lockdown, should I not have said your age?
No, not really. No.
Sorry. So tell us about 3 songs. That was written specifically for Gerald, wasn't it? How did that collaboration come about?
Well, we worked on I wrote this opera in the late 90s. In fact, it was premiered at at 2000. Maybe I shouldn't mention at Covent Garden. It was performed, and Jerry was the lead in Silver Tassie, this opera that I wrote. And I think Jerry asked me for these songs. I can't remember, it's going back a bit now. I can't actually remember the exact circumstances, but I love working with him. He's got such a terrific voice, and I've collaborated loads with him since, so it was a very special time for me.
Great voice, great performer.
Yes.
You're just right there, aren't you? You can see why you would want to work with Gerald. Now, you're one of 3 composers on tonight's programmes that have had premieres here alongside Britten and Handel. So take us back to 2011 and the premiere of Anna Nicole.
Well, Jerry was involved in that as well. He played Howard Stern. It was very exciting to be here, just to be in the audience. I'm very nervous. It's such a big collaboration with loads of performers, big orchestra, big cast, Tony Pappano conducting. And I think that in a way, it's so nerve-wracking that you sort of almost... I mean, I know Richard Thomas, who wrote the libretto, we had this, because it's a sort of comic opera apart from the last part, and we actually said to ourselves, if nobody laughs, then we're really in big trouble. So we had this idea that we had a taxi parked outside and we were going to get into that after 5 minutes. I'm not sure if Tony or anybody knows this from the cast, but because we failed basically. But the time it was really special. Ava Maria Westbrook, who played the Anna Nicole, and I know it's just the buzz of it really. That's the thing I miss, and it's quite emotional for me to hear live music for the first time. The last thing I actually heard live musically was in this house. I came and saw Fidelio. Just before everything closed, so it's amazing just to be here and to hear Jerry and Toby and Louise.
No, it does feel very, very special to be in this room today. And the current crisis, what do you think the effect could be on the future of new music?
Well, I think it's going to take a while, but I think that people just have to adapt. I feel as a composer, it's the same thing that Benjamin Britten says, that you have to be useful. So I feel that smaller forces. I'm already asked to write pieces that are reduced forces, but just the trouble is I write a lot of my pieces, apart from song cycles like I wrote for Jerry, for large orchestras, and this is going to be the difference. I think is that people are going to have to adapt, but the most scary thing is just to get audiences back, just to be brave, and it's very hard to convince people to come back to things, and that's the worst thing I think, getting an audience in.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Well, in the meantime, we can bring the show to the audience, can't we?
Yes.
Mark, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, at times like this, it seems that we can always rely on Shakespeare to inspire us. Now, his play Cymbeline includes the song Fear No More, the Heat o' the Sun, and the brilliant Gerald Finley is going to sing the extraordinarily beautiful song in a setting by composer Gerald Finzi.
Chimney sweepers, come as the oak, the scepter learning physic must all follow this and come to dust. Fear no more the lightning flash, nor the old dreaded thunderstone. Fear not slander, since you're rash. Thou hast finished joy and moan. All lovers young, all lovers must consign to thee and come to dust. No exorciser harm thee, nor no witchcraft charm thee. Ghost unlaid forbear thee. Nothing ill come near thee. Quiet consummation have, and renowned be thy grave.
Thank you, Gerald. I promised you opera, and we moved to George Frideric Handel. Alcina premiered at Covent Garden in 1735. We hear Morgana's aria, Tornami a vagheggiar. She believes Ricciardo is in love with her. He isn't. And she sings this coquettish coloratura aria to bring him into her clutches. Welcome again, Louise.
Ti solo vuole amar quest'anima fedele, caro mio bene. Tornami a vagheggiar, tornami a vagheggiar.
Wow. I mean, that must have been quite something watching at home. Imagine being in this close proximity. Stunning, Louise, absolutely stunning. That's almost it for this evening, and what an incredible evening it has been. But next Saturday, the orchestra joins us on this stage, along with the incredible Sarah Connolly and David Butt-Philip for Mahler's Song of the Earth. And the Royal Ballet's principal, Vadim Muntagirov, will be taking on Frederic Ashton's rarely performed Dance of the Blessed Spirit. So that will be available on the Royal Opera House website for $4.99, an absolute bargain. Your Royal Opera House needs your support now more than ever.
I hope you will join us for that. Now, for our final number, a duet. We are in ancient Sri Lanka. Nadir and Dzurga are in love with the same girl, Leila. But nevertheless, they swear eternal friendship. The Pearl Fishers duet.
Au fond du temple saint, paré de fleurs et d'or, une femme apparaît. Une femme apparaît. Je crois la voir encore. Je crois la voir encore. La foule prosternée la regarde étonnée et murmure à tout bas, voyez, c'est la déesse qui dans l'ombre se dresse et ferme autant les bras. Son voile se soulève. Oh, vision au rêve. La foule est à genoux. C'est elle, c'est la déesse, plus charmante et plus belle. Oui, c'est elle, c'est la déesse qui descend parmi nous. Son voile se soulève et la foule est à genoux. Mais à travers la foule, elle s'ouvre un passage. Son voile déjà nous cache son visage. Son voile, hélas, la cherche en vain. Elle fuit. Elle fuit. Mais quand mon âme soudain quel étrange ardeur s'allume, elle fait nouveau me consume. Ta main repousse ma main. Ta main repousse ma main. De nos cœurs l'amour s'empare et nous change en ennemis. Non, que rien ne nous sépare.